inside of this event, you're going to want to target TristyMovie.alpha, and that's going to target the alpha part of it, and then it's going to equal your slider manager percent. And the percent is actually something we had also set up in slider manager. So it's going to go between the numbers of 0 and 1. Now, the error that we're getting is because inside of the interface, we have to make the scale that's inside there the same as this. So you can actually copy that. Go over here, go into scale, Control V, and save it. Okay, and now it's giving me an error. And now let's see what that says. The type was not found event. And that's because if you copy and paste it, you're not going to get it imported. So always remember, and that's a good lesson, always remember to make sure everything's imported, because all of those X marks that you're probably getting are because, you copied and pasted. Okay, so this is targeting my scale, and it's telling it to do this. So let's see here. It's telling it to take that percent that was made inside of the slider manager and use it to go back and forth from 0 to 1 and change the alpha. Okay, as you can see, all the way to 1, which is all the way to the right, is visible. All the way to the left, it's completely invisible. I would suggest to go back up, slider manager, and do your percent and have that equal to 1. So this way, it will be set by default to 1, and you won't have to worry about it popping up and everything being, alpha. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a public function for our play button. So let's start down below here. Let's try public function play. We're not gonna have that return anything. And inside this function, we're going to, we have to think about what we want this function to do. Obviously, we want it to play the movie when the button, the play button is clicked. So inside here, we're going to put TristyMovie, which is the movie, and play. Okay. Now that's going to come up with an X, and the reason for that is because the interface already has a setup thing for the play function. However, what we have to do for this certain instance is we have to override play in order to be able to manipulate it to what we want it to do. So that's the whole reason behind the override that we have to do for play, and we also have to do this for stop. So you'll be seeing that X again, but you won't actually, because I will be putting it there, but I wanted to explain that to you first. So now that we have this play function, since we are using the interface, we also have to make another function for it as well. And that's going to be the mouse event function, and we want it to play when it's clicked. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another public function, and we're going to call it play movie. Let's do play movie, that makes sense. And it's going to be an event, and it's going to be in a mouse event. Okay. And inside this, we're going to be calling the above play. And then we're going to do event, current target, and then we're going to do go to and stop at frame 2. Now, if you're wondering why go to frame 2, what is frame 2? Back in my Flash, as you can see, I have set up 3 different buttons, and inside each button, there's a second frame. The first frame is, the default. Second frame is when you click on it. Now, this is a very simple kind of a detail. You can actually emphasize and do more things with this, but this is just to give you a understanding of how this works. So layer 1, layer 2, layer 1, layer 2. So that's what's going to happen. So we can test this out actually, but first, before we do so, we have to make our listeners. But now that I think about it, if we're going to click on it, once we're done clicking on it, we don't want it to stay that way. So we're going to have to make another one for when you let go of the mouse. So this one will be a mouse down event, and then the next one that we're going to make is going to be a mouse up. So let's do public function, and let's see, we can call that play up. Okay, make that an event, mouse event. And then inside that, we're going to do event, target again. And then we're going to go to and stop at frame 1. So we're going to go back to the original frame again. So now we have our play button all set up. So let's go in here and just make a comment so we'll be able to figure out where our play button is. Play button. So I'll just put play button. I like to comment things because it helps keep things in order. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should go back up and make our event listeners. So since this is a play button, we're going to play, although you can actually do control space and then type in play, and there's our play button. See, right there inside interface main. Play button dot add event listener. And then we're going to make it a mouse event, and we're going to do mouse down, okay? And then the name of this will be, obviously, because we made our public function, it's going to be play movie. We're not going to say play because play works hand in hand with play movie, as you can see. So we don't need to target that. So we're going to be doing play movie. Okay, so that's one event listener. And then we're going to do, again, play button, add event listener. And we're going to make this a mouse event again, and we're going to do mouse up because that's what's going to be happening, and it's targeting that to be a mouse up function. And then we're going to do play up, which is what we called it down below. Okay, so here are our add event listeners. Play button dot add event listener, mouse event dot mouse down, play movie, and we did one for play up as well. So let's check that and debug and see how that comes out. As we can see, we press play, and if we held the play button down, it shows that it works. So let's go on and let's do the pause button, the stop button, and then we should almost be finished. So let's do that. Okay, so now that everything's all set, let's see if this works. Okay, play works. Click on, click, unclick. Stop works, click on, unclick, and pause. Click on and unclick. So that looks great. And our slider is working. Okay, and finally, what we're gonna do really quickly is we're going to make all the buttons and handle mouse enabled and also button mode. So this will make the buttons and handle have a nice hand show up when the cursor's over them, and also make sure that no other text fields are getting interacted with as well. So let's do one for the play button, stop button, the pause button, and the handle for the slider. Now, if you're saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, didn't we make a slider manager class that took care of that? Well, let's see. Let's just make sure. And inside there, what do we see? Aha! So it's pretty much all set up because it's a slider. We don't really need the other mouse enabled. So pretty much that's all set. So if you want, you just go right back in here and you don't need that. Beep. So let's save and let's debug and see if everything works. This should be a treat if it does. So let's play. Here it goes. Sliding. You just use the alpha slider. Slider's all working. Stop button works. Let's play again. Pause button works. Remember, we're getting that up and down thing here. And
Barbara Streisand.
Yes, it works. So here we go. We have a nice working video interface. So congratulations, you made your first video interface. And if you want, you can check out the live tutorial on YouTube. I'm posting this on YouTube. So Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you have a great day.
Barbara Streisand.